WTO is associated with long talks, various tariffs, customs quotas, imports and exports, as well as other terms which our consumers sometimes do not understand. The task of the WTO market is to break all the barriers between the buyers and the sellers, because we know everything about the prices. How many pairs of shoes should a woman have? The question is as old as time. Now let's try to count. Winter boots, autumn shoes, high heel shoes, sandals and sneakers. 5 is the minimum quantity, and a man should have approximately the same number. However, American fashionistas consider that any person needs at least 30. A marketing research proves the Americans' love towards good footwear. According to the statistics, an average US citizen buys 6.5 pairs of shoes annually, compared to almost 4.5 in Europe and 1.9 in India, which is also considered the world average. In Kazakhstan, this index nears 1.5. But it is possible that after accession to WTO, this figure will reach the worldwide average level. Watch in the upcoming 10 minutes. A wide choice. What type of shoes will gain its sales after Kazakhstan's accession to WTO? Nice but cold. WTO market found out how to avoid buying leather imitation at the price of original leather. The Italians against the Chinese. The word Italy brings us a lot of associations. Among them are Rome, Venice, pizza, pasta and shoes. Italian footwear has always been considered a quality standard. More than 30,000 shoes factories are located there. Some of them sell their products in the territory of Kazakhstan. Moreover, the sales of imported shoes are expected to increase after its accession to the WTO. But whether they will be affordable for common consumers is still unknown. You will know the answer to this and other questions from the following story. The world financial crisis severely affected the footwear market, and Kazakhstan was not an exception. Until 2012, consumers were actively buying shoes from both the medium price segment and premium class. Everybody, including our retailers, experienced drop in sales. Nowadays, consumers spend less money or shift to lower segments. Almost all the footwear of the global mass market was made in China. For Kazakhstan, China is the principal footwear supplier, and market share here is higher than in any other part of the world. According to the European Confederation of the Footwear Industry, the import content of Chinese shoes in Kazakhstan makes up at least 52%. Russia, with 14%, is the second most important supplier. It is followed by the EU with 11%. The rest belongs to the smaller players of the footwear market: Turkey, India, Vietnam, Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. In 2011, the Customs Union decided to double import duties in order to support domestic manufacturers. However, no agreement was reached between member countries. None of them wanted 20% duties on imported shoes affect consumers' wallets. Moreover, high-quality Italian shoes are expensive even for Europeans. And as for price, I don't think that we can find quality shoes at a cost less than $100. After joining the WTO, many Western companies became interested in Kazakhstan's domestic market. Thus, the European Confederation of Footwear Industry for the first time organized B2B meetings and a conference in Almaty.
I'm sure that we will increase the import shoes from European companies, because the Kazakhstan market will grow in the future. I'm sure about that. And when the market grows, looking for better product, looking for more highest value product.
Currently, the domestic enterprises satisfy only 2% of people's demand for footwear. Opening factories is not always profitable because raw materials, leather, soles, accessories and chemicals are purchased only abroad. Moreover, the footwear industry always depends on the leather industry. In Kazakhstan, it is also underdeveloped. If we don't abolish these duties, our factories will never be functioning well. In this case, we shall never be able to manufacture our own final products. the independent production of leather out of skins will allow us to use it not only in the footwear industry, but also in the production of leather accessories, clothes, jackets and raincoats.
Одежда.
Belarus and Russia imposed measures which support local manufacturers. In particular, the export of unprocessed skins was prohibited. There is a possibility that Kazakhstan will do the same. Opening a plant or a small production shop not always requires ultra-modern equipment and a large production site. Nowadays, the percentage of manual labor in any type of footwear industry is still very high. From the following story, you will know about the price formation. As an example, let's take a pair of women's leather shoes manufactured in Kazakhstan. Leather makes up more than 50% of their price. One shoe costs about $10. The price of the sole is about $4. Interior finishing, including insoles and strengthening of the toe cap and heel, takes about $2. $1 more is required for accessories. Thus, the total price of a shoe reaches $17. The price of a pair of shoes is about $34 or just over 11,000 tenge. However, this sum includes only materials. Manufacturers add to it the price of utilities, depreciation of equipment, workers' salaries and the cost of imported coloring materials. All that adds to the price about 25%. Retailers usually add another 25%. Therefore, the minimal price of leather boots in retail outlets begins from $65. Logistic costs and belonging to a brand can increase the price up to $100. Artificial leather boots can be 10 times cheaper. Imitated leather can be compared with a thin layer of plastic applied on a tissue. We can say that owners of artificial leather shoes wear plastic boxes on their feet. But how can we avoid overpaying for a fake? You will know it from the following story. We have bought 2 pairs of shoes manufactured in China. Sellers claimed that both pairs were made of leather. However, their prices significantly differed. In order to identify whether shoes were made of leather, we carried out several tests. Firstly, we put our hand to the boot's surface. It became warm within 10 seconds. At the same time, we could feel that the shoe made of artificial materials was still cold. During the second test, we dropped some water on a shoe. The artificial leather repulsed the drops, while real leather absorbed them after some time. All these tests are easy to carry out while buying shoes. It guarantees that we buy high-quality goods. Customers are ready to overpay rather for a brand than for quality. From the following story, you will know about other trends of the world market. Over the last 20 years, the production of footwear around the world increased by 1/3 and reached 13.5 billion pairs annually. The global footwear market continues to demonstrate a constant growth by at least 6% annually. China, which accounts for more than 40% of the world market and gains on that more than $63 billion, is an undisputed leader in footwear sales. Vietnam accounts for 9.2% of the market and gains more than $12 billion. Italy is following close behind with a market share of 8.4% and profit exceeding $11 billion. Almost the same results demonstrate Belgium, Germany, Indonesia and Hong Kong. As much as we would like to consider elegant shoes and simple sandals the most popular, sneakers remain the most sold footwear around the world. They were invented in the 19th century, especially for athletes, and their mass production began in the 1920s. Almost 100 years later, sneakers acquired a status of the all-purpose footwear. It is a true fact that they can be worn with skirts and evening dresses. Owing to these tendencies, the companies which own sport brands keep on being the market leaders. I wish you economic and quality purchases.